Hello, my lotus flowers, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a minute that I have been on, but I have been absolutely overwhelmed. Just trying to keep up with orders and stuff like that. It has been really hectic, but we are back to making the videos. And today we're going to be working on setting up my Epson 7720. I'm going to be converting it to a sublimation printer. Savvy Your Faith is now getting into sublimation. It is going to be so much fun. I'm basically going to walk through the setup process, which the printer will take you through. One of the most important things that you want to remember when setting up your printer is that you don't want to do any updates. Very, very important. Also, keep in mind that once you install the ink into the printer, and here I'm using Cosmos ink, but if you install an ink into the printer that's not a certified Epson ink, then you will void the warranty on your printer. So just keep that in mind in case you have to take it back to the store. If the warranty is void, they may not want to accept that return. So you just keep that in mind when setting up your printer. You want to be as careful as you possibly can. Now you see me with the remote in my hand. That is because I'm actually listening to a video on how to set up the printer. So that's why you see the remote in my hand there. But the setup is fairly easy. You just have to follow the on-screen prompts. And the first thing you definitely want to do is go ahead and install your cartridges so that you can get your printer started. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up the cartridges, and I'm going to install them. And the one thing you definitely want to make sure that you have done is taken off all of the tape over your entire printer. And when you open up your scanner base to install your cartridges, you want to make sure that you let it do its initial back and forth. Don't stop it. Just let the carriage do what it needs to do in order to get itself in position in order to accept those cartridges. Okay, so now I am opening up those packages, and if you look on the package, there's a little cutout that'll make it easier for you to be able to open up those cartridges. So you just rip those, rip the plastic on those little notches, and then you'll be able to just pull the cartridge right out of the packaging. Okay, now when you get ready to install the cartridges, you want to make sure that you remove the yellow tags so that your cartridges will install properly. So just go ahead and remove all those yellow tags, and then we're going to go ahead and install them into our printer. Okay, so now we're going to install our cartridges into our printer. You want to make sure that when you put them in, that they are in securely. It took me a moment to figure out if I was actually putting it in the correct way. So I had to take it out and put it back in a couple of times because it just felt a little bit loose. But just stick it in there. When you hear that little click, then you should be good to go. And I was just double checking there to make sure, there it is, that it actually clicked in there. And now we're going to move on to our cayenne, however you say that. So we're putting that one in there. That's our blue cartridge. And I apologize if I am getting off of the cartridges because I'm trying to hold the tripod with one hand and install the cartridges with my other hand. So I do apologize for that. The final cartridge that we're going to put in is the yellow. And then we are going to shut down our scanning base. And then we're going to follow our on-screen prompts. And it's basically just going to do a nozzle check. And then we're going to go through and do a print to see if our ink is actually going through the lines to print. So we'll be back in just a moment after it runs through its maintenance check. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get our ink together so that I can show you how you fill up a cartridge. Y'all, please excuse the background. I got my baby playing on the TV, and the dog is there. I got boxes in the background from where I've unpacked packages and everything. I was so excited to get my printer. I just pulled it out the box and started working. Okay, guys, now we're back and we're seeing that our printer is printing perfectly with the regular cartridges. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove those cartridges and we are going to fill our blank cartridges with the correct colors, and then we're going to reinstall them and go through the process again, just as if we were installing original Epson cartridges. So we're going to do that and then we'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to open our scan base and we're going to let our ink cartridge, our ink carrier do what it needs to do and get itself in position. And then we are going to go in and we're going to remove all of those cartridges and we're going to fill our cartridges with the correct ink and then we're going to replace them back into the printer. So we'll get that done and then we will be back again. Okay, so we've taken out the Epson ink cartridges and we're getting ready to put in the empty ink cartridges that we got in our Cosmos ink conversion kit. And I'm just testing them to make sure that they actually snap down in there really good. They're actually going to have a little bit more of a snap than the Epson original cartridges. And that makes me feel good because that way I know that they're actually snapped in there. Bring you a little bit closer so that you can kind of see if I can keep the camera focused on what it is that I'm trying to do. So I tested all the cartridges and got them in there just to make sure that everything fit and was okay. And then once I finish with this, then we're going to come back and then I'm going to show you how we fill the ink cartridge. So yeah, we'll be back. Okay, so now that that's checked, we are going to now pull out the plugs at the very bottom of the ink cartridges. And this is just so that the air can flow and push the ink through the lines. So you definitely want to remove those. You're not going to need those anymore. The color tabs up at the very top of the cartridges are where we're going to fill the ink. And I'll show you that in just a moment. Okay, so now we're going to fill our cartridge, and this of course is our yellow. You're going to remove that yellow stopper that I was telling you about, and you're going to stick your needle in slanted, and you want to slowly push the ink down in there until it fills up. And you don't want to have any air bubbles in there or it will start to bubble over. And it usually takes about a full needle, if you pull it up to about 10 milliliters, that will usually fill it up all the way. So The yellow is the last one that I had to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back into the printer. You want to make sure that you run your printer maintenance at least 5 or 6 times in order to get your ink thoroughly through your lines and get that original ink out. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please visit my website at www.savvyyourfaith.net. And I will see you, my lotus flowers, in my next video. Thanks for watching.